No mistake from the Frenchman.
God, should have been the man. Yes, sir. First class flights on the Delta.
Here comes Ward-Prowse. Loftus-Cheek takes aim.
This is Corner Flag Talk.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us once again. We'll be back at it again with another one of our club assessment episodes. Today, instead of having Virgil with me and just one fan, I decided to put myself through some pressure and have two Man United fans on the show today. So as usual, it's your boy John here, and I have two resident fans on the show. I have Mr. Chan himself. Chad, how you going? And I have South resident Redman on the show as well. Trent Manning. Trent, how it is?
Cool.
Alright, so we starting it off, getting right into it with our CFT report card. As you guys would see on our Instagram, we have these various categories or subjects that we grading these teams on. So I'll get us going with transfer activity. So for me, I felt like United last year they brought in Dalot, they brought in Fred, and they brought in Lee Grant as a third choice keeper. I gave them a C- in my records as the transfer activity. Reason being, I felt like there were more things that were a lot more important at that time. I felt that, we're speaking strictly about transfer activity here, guys. Whether or not you were supporting Jose, you could have seen that he wasn't getting 100% support from the board at the time. He was crying out over and over for the Maguires and the Alvarez last season, and he didn't get them. And it did play out that they did need it, and it was shown that it was because of a lack of faith from the board in Jose that they didn't give him the money. And it was also a C- because those who came in had extremely varied success. Like, we'll get into Ollie's reign in a bit, but during Ollie's reign, Fred managed to see some sort of form in the Champions League, but he really had a turbulent first season. Diego Dalot made some impressions, but there are still huge questions over his defensive abilities, which is why at the point of recording, we are aware that Aaron Wan-Bissaka has just signed for Man United, which just shows their supposed faith in the young Portuguese. And well, Lee Grant, I don't think he's there anymore now. Or even if he's there, he's still third choice, which, how much games he really gonna get as a third choice keeper? So for me, I felt like they could have done more. They could have done with another right winger, they could have done with another centre back, and probably even another midfielder to help Pogba, because they really did lack creativity across the season. So for me, a C- was there, could have been a D, but I felt like that would be overly harsh given that Jose wasn't really given the backing that he was asking for. So I'll let Chad go next. So Chad, we had to add to that.
Well, first of all, I'd like to agree with what John said, because the C- seems very fair. As he said, only 3 people were brought in: Diego Dalot, Fred, and Lee Grant. Lee Grant didn't seem necessary at the time because he also had Joao Pereira, who went on loan to the Portuguese league. So that was unnecessary. Fred is a very good player. We saw with Shakhtar.
Yeah.
He played really well in Champions League, so it was thought that he would have been very helpful. He did have his time.
Yeah.
But in the league, he fought very hard. And Dalot, very young still, young Portuguese right back. He could cross really well, but the defensive ability be on the side.
If there's one thing he had on point, that man have a real good fan though. You see step overs, he had a top rock. So Trent, we had to add to that.
I probably disagree with you, because I want to go lower than a C-.
Yeah.
I want to go to a D, because I think United, for the last, I'd say 4-5 years, whenever Rio and Vidic were gone, they never really got the centre back they needed to, lock down the defense. I think Lindelof, he showed good promise last season. He improved a lot.
Yeah.
But the signings that they made, Diego Dalot, Fred and Lee Grant, I think they really needed to go out there and get a centre back.
Yeah.
Toby Alderweireld, Harry Maguire, those guys are much better than what we have in Chris Smalling and Phil Jones. So I think because of the fact that they didn't strengthen the area that is the weakest, I would give them a D rather than a C minus.
Yeah, I can understand that where you're coming from.
But it's not really. There's also the board didn't support Jose.
That's true. Yeah, he was crying out for a centre back, but they didn't give him the support that he needed.
So the next category we have here is expectations versus outcome. So Trent will take point in this. So we have to say about Manu's expectations versus the outcome.
Alright. Well, judging from the season before, I would have thought that United would at least finish in the top 4.
Right. Yeah.
Right, because the season before, even though we finished 19 points behind Man City, we were still second.
Yeah.
So, given the fact that we came second the season before, for us to drop to 6, it was very drastic, and I was at least thinking a top 4 finish for us, and probably either a League Cup or FA Cup victory. I would have thought we would at least make the final, you know.
But
it just didn't work out like that in the end, you know.
Yeah. And even last year, you know, you all finished in the FA Cup final. So it's not like the club was so out of reach to be in that kind of position. Right. So as a grade, where do I give them for that kind of finish?
I'd give this season overall a D, really, because a club of Man United's stature should always be competing for trophies in the final ends of competitions, and also, well, I would say the Champions League was a surprise for me because I didn't think we would make the quarterfinals. I thought we would be knocked out by PSG, and I guess the coming in of Ole Gunnar gave them a little more motivation to push it, you know. But apart from that, the overall season, I give it a D.
Alright, Chad, what you had to say about that?
For the most part, I agree with what Trent had to say, but I would give the season an F. Because honestly,
finish.
Honestly, as a fan, you know, in this for very long, you've seen the success that this team has got, and it is very, very disappointing. The league, it should have never been so low, or replacement should have never been so low. As Trent said, we finished second, 19 points behind, we finished sixth, 32 points behind the top, which is, we finished close to the bottom, not the top, which is terrible. The FA Cup, like you said, we made the final the year before, should have repeated or did better. The League Cup was very disappointing as well, in losing to Derby. The Champions League, I'm okay with that. The surprise victory against PSG as well.
Alright, so for me, you know, both of you presented really good points, and I agree with everything they said so far. You know, I do think that Man U is a club of such stature that, you know, trophies are associated with it, and that should always be the expectation, that even if certain things seem out of reach, like you said, that at a minimum should target either the FA Cup or the League Cup to gain some silverware. And I think the lack of that showed how poor the season was. Started off the season with Jose Mourinho, who made his name as a serial winner, and the fact that he started off the season so poorly, if I remember right, they were knocked out by Derby in the League Cup underneath him. You know, it was a really, really poor start from him. He made it so poor as a start that even when Oli brought in that momentum, they could have only recovered so much, and there wasn't that much that he could have done to really resurrect the season, and albeit it ended to be too much for the Norwegian to try and pull back the league for Man United. So I think I would give them a D minus, you know, because I felt like Oli did really well. When we reached managers, we talk about all the records that he broke to bring Man United back, because when he took over, it was given under the pretense that there was nothing to lose, and it was also given at the point that, you know, there is nothing in this campaign to fight for. They really thought top 4 was going at that point, and he gave them the hope with his incredible run that it was still possible. So Chad, since he took over the last one, you go first here. What do you rate the manager's performance? First Jose, and then for Ole Gunnar.
Well, Jose, I give him an F. He fired, obviously, you know. You can only get fired if you're being very not productive in the on the field, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not entirely his fault, but it is what it is. Ole, he came in, had that amazing run of being undefeated. You know, had some big wins against some big teams, you know, especially in the Champions League. But after that, there was 2 wins in the last. How much games it was? Coming on to the end.
Like 2 wins in the last 6 or 7 or something like that.
Yeah, 2 wins. I mean, there's only so much a manager could do, so I'll give Ole a C.
Alright, cool. Trent, what you had to say, boy?
Well, to be honest, coming into the season, you got the vibe that Jose wasn't coming into the season with as much confidence as he had before, because in the press conferences he was saying things like, it's going to be a rough season because we didn't get the signings that we wanted, we didn't strengthen enough, and he was basically briefing the fans for what was to come. So I guess he sort of saw it coming, and they started off the season decently with a victory over Leicester, and then they lost the next game to Brighton, and then they lost again to Tottenham. And from there, everything just, I don't know, the team spirit and the atmosphere in the dressing room, I guess, was really glum, and I don't know, everything just went downhill. And then the drama with Pogba and Mourinho, it caused division between the players and the managers. So certain players didn't really want to get involved, or certain players were supporting Mourinho, like Lukaku.
Yeah.
And apparently it had a little rift between Lukaku and Pogba because of that.
Yeah.
But it was similar to the situation with Chelsea when Mourinho was coming down to getting fired, when those players were rebelling, like Hazard and whatnot. And so I would probably give Jose's season a F. But because of the sorry?
I said at least we didn't finish 10th.
Yeah. But with Ole Gunnar, I would say he did well to revive us and carry us on a long run, but in the end they weren't able to hold out, so I'd probably give him a C for the job that he did.
So for me, I a little different. I give Jose a C. Reason being is that, one, they did not back him in the window, and regardless of what you think of him as a coach, if he isn't backed by his board, then there's only so much he can do. If he can say that, if you tell a workman that the tools he have no choice what he's saying that the hammer is broken, this is broken, there's only so much he can do with it. The second thing too is that I think that as fans we are so emotional, is that we forget that at the end of football is a job, it is an occupation, and whether we like it or not, it is for these players a job, and that these players forget that they have a responsibility, that the manager is essentially their boss, and what he says unfortunately goes whether you like it or not. You can't just walk up to your boss and say, I'm not going to do X, Y, Z. And players now in clubs has so much power that they could do anything they want, which is where the rift between Pogba and Mourinho came about. And ultimately, Pogba realized that he had the upper hand, so he knew that he could continue to rebel, because they couldn't afford to sell the star in the face of the club. And he would have won the argument. And that ultimately, for me, made it hard for Jose to do his job. Because whether you like his style of play or not, he is known for that style. You could not have expected Jose to come United and play attacking football. That is his style at the end of the day. So for me it was a C. For all the other, I gave him a B plus probably, because again nothing was expected of him. He went on a run that break a ton of records, and I'll just say some of them real quickly for you guys here. He beat Sir Alex Ferguson, the greatest manager ever in United's history, record for away wins. He had the most points ever of any manager in their opening 10 matches. And he equally opening win record for a specific given club. And given that his last spell in the Premier League was with Cardiff, where he got relegated, I thought it was a really well done job. There are questions about his tactics, which were shown a little bit coming on to the end of the season. But he has a transfer window now, and we'll get to see more of what Ole has to offer to Man United.
God, should have been the man, yes sir. First class flights on the Delta, check still sitting on the dresser, yes sir. I settle for the lessons, should have been the man, yes sir. Head down but I stay blessed up, God told me that I'm next up, yes sir.